Greetings everybody and welcome back for another shave, and today we are going to go Beast versus Beast. Battle of the Wolfman heads. OC version, SB version. And we're going to pay respects to Tim Soap from Tim Soap. He is getting out of the commercial business, but it's not because of lack of salespeople. Everybody assumes when someone goes under, that's the reason, but I don't believe it is. In his case, let me shut the door. And for those of you who say I'm not shaving, there you go. Yes, indeed, there is stubble there to shave. So, let's wet the face and get going. All right, so we're going to bring the funk with the boar. Let me go ahead and... I made a sort of semi-bow lather because I'm so used to synthetics. It's been a while, and it's not as easy. Excuse me for being out of camera there. It's not as easy to generate a lather with these natural hair brushes. I like these Smog brushes. I like the Omega as well. There are some good Omega. There are some who suggest that Omegas are crap, and that's just not true. They're a very good boar brush as well. Although I really like the Smog line, you know, the 830, 620, 610, 1305, I think it is. It's very good stuff. And before we ramble on more about the brush, let's talk about the soap. Tim Soap, great soap, great guy. This was one of the first editions, or an early edition of Greek Peach, one of the best scents of all time, in a very good quality soap too, I might add. All right, let's paint a little bit. Look at that. Making a mess. This brush, I can't remember which model it is. I want to say 620, but I could be wrong on that. Maybe 830. I can't remember. Either way, it's not bad. Right out of the box, pretty decent. And I remember them to be scratchier. Maybe it's the 1305 that's quite a bit scratchier out of the box. All right, so we're getting a decent lather here. No big troubles. That's good. Better than yesterday, so I'm happy with it. All right, so there's the funk, people. All right, I said I wasn't going to do this, but because Jam and G.I. James asked me to, I will. I'll use the Pope method. And what we're trying to establish here today, I'm going to use it for, you know, the downward pass anyway. What we're trying to establish here today is what's the difference between the two? Is one more aggressive? How do I feel about it? And let's try it. I think the most difficult thing is, seems that, the SB sounds a little louder, but they feel similar on the face. Wow. Just doing that, I don't feel a lot of difference. It's really hard to perceive, so let me try it this way. Feeling really very similar to me. Both smooth, and I think the smoothness, you know, really counts a lot with razors. It will make a more aggressive razor seem less aggressive. If that makes sense to you. If it's very smooth. If it's not smooth, it'll feel rough and aggressive as all get out. Those are so smooth, it's hard to say. Stand by, we'll come back for pass 2. In feeling the face here, it's hard to say, but it feels like, and it could be just in my mind, it felt like the standard bar side was a little more efficient, and that kind of flies in the face of conventional wisdom. But just because something's an open comb doesn't mean, despite what people will tell you, that it's more aggressive. It does not have to be. Try a Parker OC, some of the mild ones. And you'll see that OC can be very mild, just like a standard bar, and on that pass it felt like the SB side was just a hair more efficient. But really the only way to know would be to ask James if there's any difference in the blade gap. Maybe I'll ask him that, and if he gets back to me, I'll come back and annotate this video, because on that pass I just can't tell. Let's get a little water. Just can't, couldn't really call it. They were both so smooth. And again, I want to go back and underscore that point. Smoothness is everything for me in a razor. And it can cause a very efficient or aggressive razor to seem mild. It just does for me, that's my opinion. It can make them seem far more mild than they actually are. So these two are so well done, so precise, that it's really hard to call it. This time we'll use my right hand for both and see if I can. It's just really smooth. I know I keep saying that, but I don't have any other way to describe it, to tell you the truth. Just exceptionally smooth, meaning you can feel the razor doing its work, but it doesn't feel rough at all. Like if you've used the early version, not the 2013 version, I think, R41, rough. If you use the Icon Tech, I believe it's called it, I can't remember, short something Tech, rough. This one, not rough, smooth. So to me, I'm not getting a lot of difference. I don't perceive a great deal of difference, and the only way I think we're going to be able to find out is by asking James if the blade gap is set the same and the blade exposure is set the same. I don't know. It just both feels smooth. Let me wet the face off. Come back and feel the face again. Now at this point, most everything is gone, and it really feels even. I switched sides, so I don't know. I cannot answer your question based on the shave. Just can't do it. It's just too smooth. That sounds ridiculous, but it's true. By the way, brush doing a lot better than yesterday. And one thing to note, the lather that works for me, you may want your thicker, thinner. You may think mine looks crappy, but I know what works for me, and that's what I use. I don't worry so much about how it appears. You know, if it appears too thick, it appears too thin. I worry about how it feels on my face and how the razor is working with it, and then I adjust accordingly. You can always adjust on your lather. You can add more water. You can add more product to thicken it up if you need to. So you don't have to stick with a bad lather if you don't want to. And this one here, although not pretty to look at, is more than adequate. More than adequate. One thing I will say is, since the boar brush is scrubby, and I pushed down and really got in there a little bit, I can feel that on my face, like it's been roughed up a bit. And some people like that. They really like that exfoliation type situation with the brush. But for me, this guy's going to do all the exfoliating that you need, in my opinion. Now, there'll be others that disagree, and that's fine, but I don't use brushes for exfoliation. I just don't find I need it, and I don't find it's helpful for me. But you guys can if you want to. Nothing wrong with that. Again, this OC Beast Wolfman, just nice and smooth, just super nice, super smooth. No bubbles, no troubles. Let's go with the SB side again. Looks like I got a weeper there. Probably got it when I was using my left hand, not being used to it. No problem. Feels good. Yeah. Smooth razors and efficiency. I keep being asked, and I would say, you know, these are definitely more efficient or aggressive than your typical Edwin Jagger or something like that. Weeper right there. So not paying attention and doing my normal thing leads to weepers. But let me say for the record, definitely not the razor, all me. All right, nice. And by the way, guys, I don't ever go for a BBS shave. I will feel my face sometimes like this and get some spots, but I'm just looking for clean and comfortable. Damn fine shave, as they call it, and I'm good with that. Let's rinse the face, come back and do the... Okay, so this is one of those occasions where we'll use a little alum to sort of help with those weepers. It performs that antiseptic role and also helps to close those up, so we'll hit those spots where I think they were weepers, and hopefully that will get it done. And I'm just going to throw some witch hazel on top of it. For some people, I don't recommend, and maybe it's not good for anybody, I don't know, but you leave the alum on. Usually you rinse it off, but since I'm putting the stayers on, I'm just going to leave it and let it do what it's going to do, because if I rinse it off immediately, that might open up those weepers. So it doesn't really bother me if I leave it on there. I wouldn't put it on my whole face and leave it on, but if I just use it in spots, it's just fine. Plenty of thayers there to help the face out, taking that beating from the boar. Not bad, just a little more scrubby than I'm used to. And if you're not used to, if you're used to those really soft brushes, you can definitely feel that that boar scrubbing your face, which for some may be good. If you got really tender skin, maybe not. My skin's fairly resilient. We're going to use Spike. Excellent aftershave. Great scent. It just doesn't hang around, sadly. I wish an artisan would make a Spike scented aftershave, because I find it to be just classic, great. It's one of the great aftershave scents out there, in my opinion. It's kind of spicy, but yet almost has a cologne type scent to it as well. And I'm going to go for another round because this is so good. I actually sold my Spikes once, I think to Peter Charcalis, because I was so angry that they didn't stick around, and I ended up rebuying them because I love them. See, later today, I'm going to have a video where I talk about a lot of things, and a lot of them are mistakes that I've made, and I want you guys, especially those of you who are new, to avoid the mistakes that I've made. Because a lot of people help me in a lot of ways, but certain things they never told me. And I'm going to try to tell you the things that I've learned that they never told me. All right, Tim Soap, Greek Peach. All-time great, in my estimation. In performance, in scent, this was the Razor and Brush edition. Again, if you're on Facebook, guys, I invite you to Razor and Brush. Shave the Man on Facebook. Great groups. The brush, it did very well. It was scrubby, but we got a better lather. It wasn't perfect, but it was serviceable. It did a good job. See, the weeper's coming back. My aftershave probably rubbed off the alum, so we'll continue on with this guy right here. Try to get that squared up again, and I attribute that to my using both hands. You know, it's more difficult than it looks using the Pope method, even with the safety razor. And I would definitely not recommend that you do it with a straight razor, because you can definitely cut yourself pretty good. Ray did a good job of that. All right, the Wolfman. Superb, smooth razors. More aggressive than your Merkur 34, Edwin Jagger 89. How much? I just don't know. And the difference between SB and OC, it was hard to say, because they're so smooth. I think it masks their level of efficiency. So I can't tell you guys. Go with whichever head style you prefer, or get both. That's my advice. If you want two great razors, get both. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Come back later for that piece on things that I didn't know, that I now know that I'm going to share with you that other people probably won't share.